In question 14, we have a spatial reasoning question in which we're given this diagram, and we're told it represents a flat piece of cardboard that folds to form a tetrahedral die. We're then asked to work out of our 5 options here, which could not show a view of this die when viewed from above a vertex. So, when these are folded into complete dies, which of them is not viable? So if we cast our eyes over these 5 shapes, what we can see is we'll have one of these faces, and the thing to look out for with this sort of question is orientation as well as the relative positions being viable or not, because it may be the case, for instance, that the 2 face might go here when folded together correctly, but it might not be in this orientation. So that's something we need to bear in mind. Let's start with A, in which we have our 4 dotted face at the bottom here, and we have our 3 on the left hand side and our 1 on the right hand side. Is this a viable conformation of this folded pyramid? Well, if we were to say that this middle joint here would be this joint here, that would mean that this would need to flap down, this corner would meet this corner, and this would fold together to form a pyramid, with this being the vertex, with these being on either side, and this ending up being at the bottom. The orientation of this shape doesn't matter no matter which view you see it from, because it looks the same each way. Okay, so we can say that A is viable. Let's move on to B. In the case of B, we have our 4 face at the bottom again, but this time we have 2 on one side and 1 on the other. So at this point, what we can imagine is these 2 triangles coming together to form this middle joint by aligning along these lines here and folding downwards such that these meet. So this corner will meet this corner, these corners will stay in contact, and then this will then fold across, and this corner will meet the joint between the 2 of them. Now, is this a viable arrangement? Well, we just said that the joint here would look like these 2 pressed against each other. So that means that rather than this conformation here, this shouldn't be where it is, instead it should be up here, because this is the joint along the horizontal rather, and when it's converted into a vertical, this will need to stay aligned with the joint, which is along this line here. So we can say that B is incorrect, and so our answer for which could not show a potentially viable option is going to be answer B. So the best thing to do with this question is working through systematically from A to E and assessing their viability. So we found that B is the incorrect answer in this question.